match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, cause you know that
Bada bing, bada boom. All right. Welcome, everybody, to our Tuesday night training. All right, everybody, let us know where you're logged in from, where you are logged on from, and we want to welcome everybody. Super excited that you guys are here, and we're going to get started here in just a quick second. One second. So send out those last minute text message reminders and let everybody know that they are, as they're coming on here, we're going to get started with their training. I want to apologize here in advance. Oh, let me mute everybody here real quick. And I'm going to make Mr. Ben Bradshaw, I'm going to make you a co-host here if you got an opportunity here. Carrie Joe, if you have an opportunity, either one of you guys to be able to let everybody in as they're making their way in to help me, that would be great. So I apologize. You're going to have to struggle through this training from this obnoxious cough that I have. Just getting over a little bit of a flu, a little bit of bug here. Came back from Colombia, went down for the count for a couple of days. But thank God for Dr. Cohn. Got a bunch of my nutritional supplements. I've been pounding those and got my IVs and all that kind of stuff. Excited to be here with you guys. Now, a couple things that are really, really, really important here today. So we are in the midst of a unique time in the world of Seacret. We have until the end of this month, which is one more week, to take advantage of this couple of insane offers. So first of all, we have the Billboard top chart where you can earn the extra cash prizes for the top 5 people, which is fully in the running right now. I remember I saw Trish and Rob Zera up there on the top, and I saw, Ronnie, I think, pop in there from Hawaii. I saw Enrique or Boss. Anyway, I know it's a close running right now for the top spot, but I have some feelings some new names are going to be popping up on the board that are going to be creeping up there fast. So between now and the end of this month, remember, preview pack, you get 1 point, pro pack, or you get, power pack, you get 2 points. Professional pack, you get 3 points. Now, the professional package, remember, comes with 3 getaways. That is a promotion till the end of this month. So it is time to make sure that we are promoting that and getting everybody in on that, because, honestly, that's just an insane offer with what we're doing. So getting yourself here to bronze is if you're a brand new person, if you enroll with a professional package, you're going to have 2,000 points on one side. If you enroll a professional package on the opposite leg of where those points fell, you went bronze. So buy the pro pack, enroll a pro pack, you go bronze, right? So these are fast ways that people can get promoted and get things moving inside of their business. But where all roads lead right now is Denver. We are going to be at our boot camp convention here, and it's going to be coming up very fast. Now, for those of you guys that are participating in the Club Fit Challenge, if you could go type into the chat box, type in hashtag Club Fit. I want to know who is participating in the Club Fit Challenge. We're super excited that program is kicking off. If you missed it, you missed it. So now we are giving the opportunity for people to be able to join the challenge. However, you can't compete for the prizes because that deadline has passed, right? So, but for some people that are like, listen, I missed it, but I still want to get in. I want to get the material. I want to be a part of the community. I want to be a part of the programs and the workouts and the trainings and the education. Man, last night, Dr. Cohn and Kim Lyons and Mike Zanardelli were ridiculous. If you didn't get a chance to be on last night, go watch the replays inside of that group. But anytime we're doing these challenges that are time sensitive, don't miss out on them, because remember, if we're only doing 3 a year, that means that you're gonna have to wait another 4 months before you can promote the next challenge for people to participate in. So don't miss these. Whether or not you want to compete and win, join the challenge just for the education, the training, the information, the community, the camaraderie. It's going to be really important inside of that. So Club Fit Challenge. But leading into boot camp, how many of you have got your boot camp ticket? I want you to type in "I'm registered" into the chat box. Let us know that you are registered for boot camp. We are, man, this is going to be a very, very important weekend. There's more announcements, more information, more additions. It seems like every single convention, we keep giving Mark Aceta a bigger problem because we keep gobbling up more of the time with so many promotions and announcements. It honestly could be a little overwhelming with the amount of good news that we're launching at these conventions. So, but as we keep adding more elements and more pieces, if you have not started using your daily member deals, this new program, start searching through there, learning through that. This is going to be something that all of us, we're going to be figuring out, how can we save our members, our Club Seacret members, more than the cost of their monthly membership, let alone the fact that every Club Seacret member gets a $50 voucher coupon certificate off of their order the next month of over $150 in their cart, or over $200 with free shipping. As these are some crazy situations. Now, so there's a lot of exciting things, but I want to break this down here to something that is really, really kind of fundamental. I want to go back to fundamentals here and talk a little bit about prospecting, but I also want to talk a little bit about launching. And because what I've noticed is that right now we have such an irresistible offer. I mean, the fact that you can join Seacret right now and get a package of products and get a vacation included is dumb. I mean, let's be real. It is honestly, it's one of the crazy, it's almost too good to be true that a lot of people are almost hesitant because it sounds like, how is that even possible, right? So, and to have the trips included, to have the things that are included, these are really important. But regardless of whatever offer that we have, there are going to be some basics when it comes to prospecting, and there's going to be some basics when it comes to launching a new agent that are going to be very important to getting your partners started inside of the business. So first thing is first here, please write this down, Prospecting 101, okay? I'm going to give you a few tips here. Prospecting 101, you are the messenger, not the message. This is important. You are the messenger, not the message. What do I mean by that? Okay. You are, think about it like this. You are the trailer. You are not the movie. Okay. So the purpose of this is to get somebody excited. And what is a trailer? A trailer is 30 seconds. It's 1 minute, 2 minutes at max, to get somebody to go, that sounds interesting. I want to see the movie. You are not the movie. Seacret is the movie. The presentation is the movie. The Zoom you're inviting for is the movie. Now, why this is so important is this, okay? And when it comes to this, is using this kind of this pyramid. Well, we don't need two of me. Oh gosh, man. I promise you, it is much worse than it really is. It sounds a lot worse than it really is. It's been lingering here for a couple of days on me. So, all right. So this was something that was taught to me in the very beginning of my business. Okay. So you are in a pyramid. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So if this is you, all right. So you know people. Okay. All right. Now we can call these friends. We can call these peers. We can call these contacts. We can call these associates. We can call them prospects. You can call them suspects. I don't know what you want to call them, but these are people that you know, right? So these are people that we want to show the business to. Now, particularly when you're dealing with what we call warm market and people that you know, what you have there is you have a bit of this thing, what we call is trust, okay? All right. So what most people do is people that know you will relatively trust a referral or a recommendation from you because they know you. All right. So if you look at it in today's standings, you guys remember, I don't know if you guys remember when, let's say before Yelp, before there was these online peer reviews, before there was reviews on anything, right? So people used to ask people for what they liked. This was a normal thing that would take place. So, hey, do you recommend something? Now, if you needed a dentist, I want you to think about this. You needed a dentist. Would you rather, okay, go to a dentist that you saw an advertisement for, or would you rather go to a dentist that was recommended from a friend? From a friend. not sometimes, 100% of the time, right? So if you were going to eat at a restaurant in a city that you've never been to, would you rather take a recommendation from the ad in your hotel or on television or on your phone or on Facebook, or a recommendation from a friend who you know has eaten at that restaurant? From a friend. This is normal. This is a normal way of doing business in a referral standpoint, that people will buy into trusting a recommendation from somebody that has experienced something. Okay, so this is a very normal thing. So there's trust. Here's the challenge with that. Okay, if you do this right, it sets the program up very well. Now, the thing is, there's a trust level here, but people might not trust you or respect you as being the expert. So what we need is we need an expert. Okay, so this is where we want to build it. Will respect, people respect experts. Doesn't matter what field, right? So now, even if you're skeptical of a particular expert for whatever reason, you respect them more than your friend. So a good example, if you know I am not a mechanic, you know I'm not a mechanic, you're not going to respect me to fix your car. Now, you might trust me to refer you to my mechanic because I can tell you that my mechanic did a good job. He didn't overcharge me. She didn't, do any of this stuff. Okay. So I can connect the dots here to understand that the difference between me is I need to connect the dots between me, the person I'm introducing, and an expert. And the way that we do that is this thing called edification. Okay. Edification. So that is a new word to me. I didn't understand it before network marketing. It's basically speaking highly of someone or promoting somebody. Now, in this, why this is important is, if you think about it, who is the expert? Okay, who is the expert? And you can write this in your notes. Anyone but me. The expert can be anything but you. But the expert can be the video. The expert can be Dr. Cohn's video. The expert can be the push play presentation. The expert can be a Facebook group. The expert could be the new person that you signed up last week. The expert could be your sponsor. The expert could be your upline. Honestly, it's anybody but you where you can get yourself out of the way. Okay. So, because when you're new, people know you for what you do. That's it. They know you for what you do. So again, going back to my first statement, you are the messenger. You are not the message. Your goal is to get as many people to get excited to look at it, not necessarily looking at you as the expert on this subject matter. Okay. Now, it's a little bit different. If you've been wildly successful inside of network marketing, then you have a little more of an authoritative experience where you can say, hey, based on my expert opinion, because I have been successful in this profession, here's why you should listen to me. But until that point, you need to be leaning on third party. So third party is the best party. Ain't no party like a third party. That's how you should be thinking about it. Okay. So when you get a new person started, prospecting 101, the next thing in prospecting that's really important, and this is a philosophy. Okay. And we're going to give you some do's and don'ts, because what I have found is that when a new person gets started in our business, one of the most important things is educating their expectations. So it's one of the biggest reasons why people quit and fail in this business, is because they have expectations that are so dramatically off to the real experience of building this business. And most people can handle the correct expectations as long as they're taught them and they know they're coming. So if people can be taught, hey, this is what you can plan on understanding is going to probably happen in your business. Okay. So you can experience it. One of the best ways in terms of explaining these concepts to people is this. So please write this down in your notes. There are 3 expectations that new agents have that are the 3 primary reasons people quit the business. These are Jesse Macpherson opinions. Okay. The 3 reasons, if you can help educate these 3 expectations, you are less likely to lose a new agent in the beginning of their process, okay, to help set their mindset right and to actually get to work, okay? So the first expectation is most people believe that they're going to make way more money way faster than the business is really going to make. That's what most people believe. Okay. So now I'm not saying there are not rockets inside of the business, but if somebody comes into network marketing, comes into Seacret, and they make a lot of money very fast, it's because they paid their dues somewhere else. It's the only way around it, right? So they have poured into relationships for years and years and years and years. And now that they're asking something from their relationships, boom, they're getting paid for that, right? So they have a center of influence that they've cultivated with people who trust them, who respect them for years and years and years. They've built a following for years. And what I'm saying is they have paid their dues somewhere else, and they're getting paid today for previous work. I want you to understand that. Okay. So now if you were like me, when I got into network marketing 20 years ago, I was a 19-year-old kid who was broke, no experience. Nobody was looking at me going like, there's the guy to follow. That was not my experience. When I told my friends I started a business, they were like, is it illegal? It's probably illegal. And I was like, no, it's network marketing. They were like, for sure illegal. It's for sure illegal. And I was like, no, it's not. Anyway, I'm laughing about it now, but I cried a lot back then. It was not fun during that time. So, but I thought the business was going to happen super fast. And the reason why was it made so much sense to me. And I saw this diagram. How many of you guys remember this diagram? Did you ever see this diagram? Where it was like, here's what you do. You get 5 people, right? And those 5 people get 5 people. 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 Yeah, like 5 who get 5 who get 5. You have 3,000 people contributing to your income. And I was like, oh my God, I could get 5. I could get 5 tomorrow. So I was like, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By Friday, I'm Ferrari shopping. I mean, like, let's go, right? I mean, like, come on. So now I do this example as a joke, but most people, when they first look at network marketing, they kind of think this. They might not think 5 days, but I mean, 5 months, maybe, like they're not thinking 5 years. So here's an expectation that I like to give new people when they're building their business. Okay. Most people to graduate school are taking 5 years. Some are doing it in 4. Most people that are graduating with a degree are doing it in 5 now. Okay. It's more average 4.5, 5 years. So what I like to do is I like to show them the time money chart. Okay. So this is educating an expectation on this. So time versus money. Okay. So this is your time access. This is your money access. Okay. So if this is years, okay, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Okay. So if this is years at the top, okay, and you can see the money. Your first year, it's going to feel like you're going to be putting in a lot of time for not so much money. That's what it's going to feel like. Your second year, it's probably going to feel about the same. Okay. By your third year, it's going to feel like, okay, I'm finally getting paid for my time is what it's going to feel like. But then by year 4, you see how this starts to flip. And by year 5, and then what happens in year 6? Year 6, it feels like you're getting paid more than the time that you're putting in. By year 10, it becomes obnoxious. Think about it today. Like, how is it possible that a kid, like, guys, how many hours a week can you really work? I mean, I've tried to work a lot of hours. So, and I do work a lot of hours. So, but even if I'm working 80 hours a week at $200,000 a month, I mean, come on. Like, it's not like I'm not doing anything different today than I was 10 years ago, 6 years ago. Like Jay, I see Jay Elliott on here. What's up, homie? So by the way, thank you for getting Kim Lyons involved in the whole program. I really appreciate you for that, my friend. So, but Jay, when you got started, what was it, 6 years ago? Is that about right? So 6 years ago, when you first got started, what were we doing? Game plans, presentations, trainings, Zooms. Like, it's not that much different. So yeah, but what has happened in 6 years for my income has been ridiculous. And all it is because I consistently stayed on the same course, consistently doing the same things. Now, there were times where I felt underpaid for my time invested. But here's the question I want you to ask yourself. How many of you want to one day get paid without working? Show of hands, show of hands. If you want to, at some point in your life, get paid without working, are you ready for it? You need to be willing to, for a while, work without getting paid. Oh no, I know, catch 22, right? So what does that mean is what you're doing is you're investing and planting seeds in your business and in your future. So our business, the mindset behind this is our business is a lot more like farming than it is like shopping. Unfortunately, we live in a society that believes that grocery shopping, buying food, is the same as making food. It's not. It's really not. But that's the society that we live in. Most people have never had to make their food. Most people buy their food. Some of you are in the process of experiencing for the first time what it's like to grow a business is like growing food. It's different than buying food. Buying food is I exchange $1 for an item. This is different. This is investing time into growing something, right? So how are we going to grow something is we've got to plant seeds, cultivate, and harvest. So a new person can so easily be knocked out of the business simply because they're going to prospect people who do not understand this philosophy. They don't, and they won't. And because most people were not taught these things in school, it's not a normal behavior. So, but most of us could understand it. Let's say you want to plant a garden in your backyard. All right. So can you all picture it? You got your backyard. You want to plant a garden because you want to have your own vegetables. You want to have your own stuff, right? That you make. Okay. Now, if you go plant seeds in your backyard, will you eat tomorrow from the seeds you plant today? Everyone can say like this, no, Jesse, you will not. How long is it going to take? Well, it depends. You may never get a harvest if you don't take care of your seed. So what does that mean in our business? If you don't follow up, if you don't take care of your exposures, if you aren't consistent with it, if you aren't doing it with a great attitude, of course it's not going to work. If you follow up with people being like, you don't want to do it, do you? This isn't interesting for you, is it? Like that's not going to work, right? So we need to do it in a certain manner, in a certain way. But as we're going out there and planting seeds and cultivating, I want you to picture this. Let's say you got a neighbor, okay? And that neighbor, not the most smart person in the world, but whatever. He's your neighbor. You've known him for a long time. And your neighbor leans over the fence and looks down and be like, oh, what are you doing? And you're like, oh, I'm planting a garden. And then you're like, really? And said, yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to have my own lettuce, carrots, tomatoes, onions, so maybe I'll have some avocados, maybe we'll make some guacamole. I'm excited for my garden, right? And your neighbor goes, cool. All right, let me know when you got some salsa, right? So, and a week later, you're out there in your garden, you're watering your garden, and your neighbor leans over the fence and be like, got any tomatoes yet? What would you say to your neighbor? Like, no, I don't have any tomatoes yet. I just planted them, right? Now, what if a month later, you're out there again and you're watering your plants, picking out those weeds, making sure the birds don't get them, right? And your neighbor leans over the fence again and be like, got any salsa yet? Where are those tomatoes at? I thought you were planting a garden, I mean, wouldn't you look up at your neighbor and be like, what are you new? Don't you know how this works? I just planted them. It's going to be months before they pop out of the ground and before I can have a harvest. You'd be like, there's something wrong with you. But unfortunately, because most people think of network marketing as something like get rich quick or whatever it is, right? Something fast and something this. So when you're building your business, you start planting seeds, you're cultivating, and you get started in network marketing. You say, hey, got started in my network marketing business. I'm super excited about it. And your neighbor goes, oh, doing one of those things, huh? Great. Tell me how it goes. And a week later, your neighbor leans over the fence and being like, hey, you rich yet? And you're like, well, no, it's a week ago, started a week ago, you know? So, but a month later, you're still doing your business, planting seeds. You don't have a lot of stuff going on, but it's starting to happen. Your neighbor leans over and be like, you made $1 million yet? And here's what's crazy. Most people, that shit gets to them. They start believing the neighbor who has never farmed in his life. Not one day, never grown anything on his own ever. And he will sit there and ruin a new person's dream. Because that new person will look at their business and go, man, I've been doing this for a month. I put all this time and energy in, and man, it doesn't, I'm not making that much yet. I don't know, man. Maybe they're right. Maybe it's possible. And those seeds of doubt start to enter into the new person's mind if they don't understand these things. If they don't understand that this business is not shopping, this business is farming, right? So these are expectations that a new person needs to understand. That's number one. You guys with me on this? Is this helping? You understanding this? Okay. So a new person has to understand that this is a process, okay? That it's a process. And however long that process takes, it's okay. Now, here's the thing. Can you speed this process up? And the answer is yes, if you increase your activity, okay? Increasing your activity will speed up your process, period. Okay. I mean, it's a simple business model, but I don't want to oversell because most people start spare time, part-time. Okay. Now, can you rocket to the fast very quickly? Yes, it's possible, but whether you do or you don't, doesn't matter. That anybody can be successful as long as they understand the philosophies of the business. So that's number one. Number one expectation gets people off is they have to understand it's a process. It's not an overnight success. They're building a real business, farming. Okay. Second expectation. This is a big one. Number two, write it down in your notes. Number two reason people quit is they believe that more people will actually join than will that they know, period. They have an expectation that more people will get the business than actually will very quickly. So this is by far one of the biggest killers. So I remember when I first got started in the business is they told me, they were like, listen, you're going to have a ratio. Who knows? It might be 1 out of 10, like 1 out of 10 people that you introduce will be interested. And I was like, 1 out of 10. I was like, come, you don't know my friends. My friends are smarter than that. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. So, in fact, my friends tried to convince me I was dumb for doing this. Like they were like, what are you doing? Like, what is wrong with you? So now I was not prepared for that. And it almost took me out. In fact, this expectation is one of the things that takes out a lot of people in our business that would have been incredible network marketers that would easily have their freedom today if they understood that that was part of the business, that not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's going to understand it, that there is a ratio to the business of people that are going to join versus those that are going to look versus those that are going to be interested versus those that are going to say maybe, kind of, sort of. So how do you share this? How do you educate this expectation very quickly for a new person? And this is something that I do with every new agent at every one of my game plans to help educate this. So write this in your notes. Okay. We don't convince and we don't beg. We don't convince, we don't beg. It's not the business we're in. We're not in the begging business. We're not in the convincing business. We are in the sharing business. It's our job. Our job is to share secret. Now, in the beginning, guess what? You're probably going to be bad at that. I was a bad sharer in the beginning as well. I had to learn how to share it better. I had to learn how to become a good messenger of this message, right? And I had to learn that. It's a skill that you have to learn. It's not like, well, you're uniquely defective and you're bad at it and you'll never be good at it. That's not how it works. These are all skills that you can learn on how to share. So what I taught people is we're not selling, we're sorting, S-O-R-T, sorting. And the easiest way that I used to describe that was this, a deck of cards. Now, I carry a deck of cards. How much is a deck of cards? They're like $1, right? So, okay, you can find them anywhere. I carry a deck of cards with me at all times. The reason why, it is by far the fastest way for me to share this analogy. Now, many of you guys have seen this card training. Some of you guys have been a part of this training. Some of you guys have seen this. If you're new, you might not have seen this. So I'm going to go through it real briefly with you guys, okay? But if you are not new and you are not using this analogy in your business, stop watching me do things and start doing the things I do. I'm not doing it for my own genius. Like, I'm doing it because y'all should copy this shit. It's good stuff, right? So, and the reason why I'm sharing that with you, the first time I ever saw this training, I never didn't have a deck of cards ever again. And that was like 18 years ago. Okay. For 18 years, I have been doing a training with a deck of cards because it's so easy for people to get this concept to help educate their expectations, to kind of put them at ease, to go, okay, I kind of get what you are experiencing, so I know what's coming. So in this deck of cards, I always ask people, how many cards are in the deck? How many cards? 52. There's actually 54 because there's 2 jokers. You're going to run across 2 jokers when you talk to people. You're going to be like, you're doing network marketing, right? So yeah, whatever, shut up. So now in this 52 cards, now in most games, okay, there's the most valuable card in most games is what card? And most people will say, yeah, the ace, right? The ace is the most valuable. Now, how many aces are there in the deck? 4. How many 7s? 4. How many 9s? 4. There's 4 of everything, right? So now some people didn't know cards. By the way, I'll never forget the first time I went to Korea and I did this analogy, I found out Koreans don't play cards. So they were like, how many 7s are there? 7. They didn't. It was one of the funniest experiences. I was like, oh, I need a new analogy because they dominoes, dice, they play a lot of other things. So, right. But deck of cards, they were like, I don't know. I was like, oh, this is not going to go well. So know your audience. Another pro tip 101. So, but in this, very simple. Okay. You got 4 aces in the deck. Now I just shuffled up this deck. Now, let me ask you a question. Where are the aces in this deck? We don't know. So this is the game I always say. If I told you I was going to give you $100 for every ace you found, how fast would you flip the deck? Super fast, right? Fast. How much time are you going to spend on a 7? Not much time, right? Because how much time are you going to spend on a 3? Are you going to convince the 3 that they're an ace? No, but this is what people do, right? So inside of our business, if we were to kind of put this up, I wonder if I could do it like this, right? So I've got a card here, pulled over. Oh, look at that, 3. So I wish that was planned. I was not planned. So, okay, now I got a 3. Now 3 is the bottom of the deck. This is the person that may or may not be interested. This is actually not may or may not be interested. This is a not interested. This is the bottom of the deck. This is a no. This is a I don't get it. This is my friend did Amway, my mom did it works and it didn't work, you know what I mean, or whatever, right? They're just going to say something, right? Doesn't matter what company, they're just going to be negative, right? Next is a queen. This is not an ace. This is close to an ace though, but this is the drama queen. You don't even want her in your business. She just brings like problems, right? So next is a 6. Next is a 5. Okay. Next is an 8. All right. So we just flipped 5 cards. Now here's what happens. A new person introducing 5 people to their business and getting a negative, a drama, a maybe, a kinda, a sorta, feels like it's not working. That's what it feels like. For a new person, this is when we get the phone call all the time. And they're like, Jesse, it's not working. I'm like, why? What's up? They're like, I've talked to everyone I know. I was like, everyone? And they're like, Everybody, no one's interested. Now, it was 5 people. So, but the feeling is, it feels like more than 5. I'm telling you right now, it feels like it. So they get a 3. They get a, whatever that is. Oh, the instruction card. An 8, right? A 4. Now, some of you guys are like, man, that's a lot of cards. It's not. The average of finding an ace is 1 out of 13. That's the number. That's the ratio. So when we flip the next card, we get a 9, we get a 6. So in this is, we may have found an ace by that, we may not have. But what we need to do is we need to teach people that every card I flip that's not an ace, I should be getting more excited, not more discouraged. Most people, every card they flip, they get more discouraged. Oh man, oh man, oh man. They didn't get it. They didn't see it, right? These people that are like, well, I'll see how you do first. And then they're like, oh man, how am I ever going to be successful if everyone's waiting for me because if I can't get anyone, right? So they start asking me all these questions. What do I do with this guy? I called him 5 times and he said he was going to show up and he didn't show up. What do? Flip the next card. That's what you do. You flip the next card, okay? Because the next card is a drama queen. You're like, oh man, right? That's not what I wanted. The next card is a 7. Next card is a 9. This is where people start reevaluating whether or not the business is for them. Man, I don't know if this thing works. Now, let me ask you a question. How many aces are still in this deck? 4, if it's a real deck. So now every card that's not an ace, you should be getting more excited. You know why? Because what that means is that every card that's not an ace means statistically you're closer to finding. Oh, actually, I planned that one. I saw it. I saw that it was coming up next. I saw that one. I was kind of cheating. So, but is an ace. Now, when people find an ace, it's usually when they're like, I never doubted it for a second, right? And then they're like, secret for life. They want to get the tattoo, right? And then all of a sudden, they'll flip a card, get a negative, kind of, sort of, drama queen, a negative person, and then they'll find an ace and they'll be like, yay. And then they'll go, and then they'll cry. Then they'll want to quit. Then they'll come to convention and then they get excited and then they'll be like, oh, go. And this is just the process of the business, right? So people will be on this emotional roller coaster, which is going to be part of this. So if you're going to be a successful network marketer, you're going to have to realize that the majority of times you're going to be dealing with people that are on this emotional roller coaster through the ups and the downs of the business. So expectation number 1, the business is a process. It's going to take time. But you got to be consistent. Number 2, our business is a business of sorting, not convincing. Expectation number 3. Oh, here's a good one. I thought the majority of people that join the business were going to do the business. Oh, man. Dagger in the heart. Oh, this was a hard one for me. So this was a big expectation. So how many of you guys actually thought, I mean, honestly though, seriously, how many of you guys thought the majority, like people sign up, they're going to do it, right? They're going to do it. Why wouldn't they do it? They join the business. I mean, they can go have freedom. And I found out the majority of people who join do what? And the answer is nada, zip, zilch, nothing. They join the business. They'll even spend a lot of money, $700, $2,000, and then they won't return your phone calls. They'll join the witness protection program. And what happens to them? I don't know. Where did they go? It is mind-boggling to me. Now, here's what it is. Most people, the reason why they join and leave so quickly is because they get overwhelmed, they get fearful, or they get rejected really quickly. And there's much more concern about what their friends think than what their bank account needs. So it's usually what happens. And it's just part of it. Now, the people like, how do we save these people? I don't know. Listen, if I knew how to save all these people, it wouldn't have taken me 20 years to get to where I am. So, people say like, I got all these people and they're not doing anything. How do I motivate them? I'm like, I don't know. Teach me. I don't know. I have the same unmotivated people on my team as you do because your people are on my team too. If I knew how to motivate all of them, man, this had been so easy. So the reason our business model works is that there is a law of attrition. Now, I want you to understand that attrition is your friend. Write this in your notes. Oh, this is going to be a good one for some of you guys. So attrition is my friend. I know some of you guys don't like this one. I didn't like this one either. So now, why is this important? Okay. So attrition is, my friend. What do I mean by that? So in our business model, we have something that we're very lucky. And what I mean by that is traditional business owners will understand this. I know there's a lot of traditional business owners here on the line. And I don't mean self-employed. I mean somebody who has employees, right? If you're self-employed, God bless you. It's being self-employed is one of the most challenging things in the world, because it's like, if you want it done right, do it yourself. You got to do everything. You wear 100 hats. It's all up to you, right? So, but I'm talking about somebody who has employees. You got 10 employees, 20 employees, 30 employees. They say one of the things that kills companies more than anything is not hiring the wrong person. It's not firing the right person. Meaning not like firing an employee that is unproductive and not doing a good job in this climate is very difficult. As an employer, it's a hard thing to do in this environment, right? Now, some people say, well, it should be, or it's not right. I'm not talking about whether it's right or wrong. I'm not talking about employers that have done it right. I'm not talking about employers that have done it wrong. It's not what I'm talking about. But what I am talking about is that in our business, here's the great news while you're building your team. You don't have to fire anyone. They leave. Unproductive people don't stay, which means the only people that you're actually left with is the people who want to work. That's it. So what most of us do is we spend so much time trying to convince people to do something they no longer want to do based on their actions, not their words, their actions, okay? Instead of finding the person who wants it as much, or if not more than you. So, and with that, what I mean by attrition is your friend is, I want you to write this down in your notes, because this helped me as a mindset. These are things that helped me along my journey. So, so if you go sign up 10 people, and let's just say just 9 quit, like just almost immediately, right? You sign up 10 people, 9 quit. Man, that's pretty harsh, right? That would be 90% attrition. You guys see that? 90% attrition, meaning 9 out of 10 quit. But at the beginning of the month, it was just you. You had one person. By the end of the month, you have you and one more person that wants to work, which means you have a total of 2. Are you with me? Does it make sense? Okay. So you signed up 10, 9 quit, 1 stayed because they were serious. They get it. They wanted to build this, right? So at the beginning of the month, you had 1. At the end of the month, you have 2. So it's either 90% attrition or 100% growth. Oh. What did you mean by that? Well, beginning of the month, you had 1 person. End of the month, you have 2. That's 100% more people working. Let's say these 2 people, you each sign up 10 people each the next month. So you have 20 people that you personally signed up between the 2 of you. Let's say 18 of them quit. 18 of them quit. 18 quit, out the door, gone by. They don't even renew. They don't, they got their free getaway and they were like, peace out, So that's 90% attrition. But if 2 extra of them stayed, you have you 2 plus 2 more, you have 4 people total. You had 2, now you're ending with 4. That's 100% growth. 90% attrition, 100% growth. How are you looking at it? Okay. Now, why is this important when you're growing your business? Is these 3 things, these 3 expectations, if we can have everybody understand them and re-educated on them in the beginning of their business, I'm telling you, it makes the journey so much more understandable, and it makes the journey so much more relatable. Now, I'm not saying that you can't save somebody from the challenges, the failures, the pain. Failing is mandatory to become successful in our business. Messing up is mandatory. Doing it wrong is like, it's part of doing it. So as you're going out there and growing the business, but when people kind of know what's coming, that's what gives them a better understanding as to how to deal with it. Good example. If you're driving in a car and you say, hey, there's a sharp turn up on the left, All right. So make sure you slow down. And let's say they don't slow down and they go off of off the rails, right? At least they knew you were right. So here's what's interesting. Even though they crashed, what happens is next time they're listening a little bit more to your coaching. I can tell you the majority of coaching I got went in one ear and out the other ear. And then I went and did it. And I was like, oh yeah, he was right. And then I went, gosh, okay, I got to change that. I got to adjust that. But it also gave me confidence in my leadership and the people that were mentoring me, because when I experienced something, they told me would happen, even if I didn't want it to happen. I went, I'm in the right place because these people have been there. They've experienced this before. So consistency. So in this, let's talk a little bit. I know I kind of diverted my topic here a little bit about prospecting to launching our new agents here a little bit today. So sometimes it just channels through me and I got to let it out. But talking about prospecting as we're going through this. So when we're out there exposing people to our business, remember, we're the message, we're not the message. We're sorting, we're not convincing, right? So our job is to get people in the information. So, but the follow-up is the next piece of the puzzle when it comes to this. So following up with your prospects or the people that you're introducing information to is so important when it comes to building your business. Now, follow-up is not particularly sexy. It's not usually the most enjoy, and people are like, man, I can't wait to do my follow-ups today. Why? Because the majority of people you follow up with, a lot of times they're not going to answer the phone. They're not going to get back to you, right? All these different, that is a normal part of it. Those are new skills that you're going to be learning as you're going through this. In the beginning, I would rather you make up in numbers what you lack in skill as you're building out this business in the very beginning of this. But I wanted you to have these philosophies because currently right now, we have a lot of brand new people joining the world of Seacret and a lot of new people that are just going like, hey, how does this business work? Like, what can I expect? You know, how do I build this thing? How do I keep this thing going? But, and how do I go out there and build a team? Now, this is the launching of your business. The next piece of your business, if you get stuck at a few $100s a month, the number one reason why is you. I promise you. And what it comes down to, leadership. Do people want to follow you? Now, leadership is going to be about mentorship, training, and relationships. Mentorship, training, and relationships. So leadership meaning, do people want to follow you? Not can you sell them, not can you convince them. Do they want to be around you? Do they want to, like, think about it like this. How many of you guys want to be around Isaac Ben Shabbat a lot more? Show of hands, right? Why? And one of the reasons why is because of the value that you believe that he can provide for you. Same thing for me. Why did I move to Phoenix, Arizona? I moved to Phoenix, Arizona to be closer to the people I wanted to learn from, be mentored by, to be influenced by, because we are all influenced by our environment, by the people that we spend time with. And I wanted to be around good leadership so I could model good leadership, so I could see it in action, so I could see how they respond, how they react, how they engage in problems, how they tackle hard situations. So I could see how they do presentations, how they do phone calls. I could watch all these things because that's for me, is to be a student of this profession, is to be somebody who's constantly learning. Now, I just passed my 20-year anniversary in network marketing. So 2 decades, what's up? I'm excited for that. And as we continue on this, so I've been on a never-ending quest and really an obsession with this business model and how it works and why it works and why some people make a little bit versus why some people get everything they want out of it. Okay. Now, for the most part, okay, what I have found is that the skills of this business, prospecting, presenting, promoting, these are your 3 big ones, 3 P's: prospecting, presenting, promoting. Prospecting, presenting, promoting. Those 3 skills will give you freedom inside of network marketing. You learn how to prospect, learn how to present, and learn how to promote. You can write your ticket. The question is how good do you want to get at those skills, and how much do you want to do those skills? Now, if you want people to follow you, then it's a leadership game. It's a massive leadership game. Now, what is the leadership game that we're doing is developing ourselves. So in this is where I started diving into as much leadership development as I could. So once I started building out a team is, well, what are you reading? What are you listening to? Who are you associating with? So a question I ask people constantly is this: how many of you guys would like to have a team of 1,000 people? All right, so great. If I dropped 1,000 people in your team tomorrow, would you know what to do with them? Maybe, maybe not, kind of, sort of. All right, what if I gave you 10,000? Now I want you to think about this. Is 1,000 different than 10,000? Is it? Right? So, right? Maybe it's not. Does it seem more scary? Does it seem more fearful? Now remember, this is leading a group of people that are all different personality types: reds, greens, blues, yellows, kids that are 18, people that are 80, people that are looking for small income, people that are looking for big income, people that are looking from different walks of life that were broke, people that have come from financial successful backgrounds. Can you lead a group of people like that? Can they count on you? Can you help develop them? Can you help coach them? Can you help teach them? And here's the difference that I want to make sure everyone understands. In the beginning of your business, your goal is not to become the best leader. Your goal is to become a great teacher. That's where it starts. To become a great teacher. Great leaders start off becoming great teachers, and great teachers were great students. So becoming a student of this business with the intent of becoming a teacher, with the intent of becoming a leader. I hope that most of you guys are on that journey and on that path or in that mindset, because right now that's what's going to lead towards what most people want inside of this business. So prospecting, when it comes to our business model, is we're going to go out there. Now, the scripts that we have, follow your leadership on your guidelines, your website. Here's what I am using the most. This is my 1-2 punch, and I'm using it with the Share Secret app. So if you download, if you haven't used this yet, now we have online on our website, we have our ATM groups, our ad tag message Facebook groups. If you're utilizing those, great. If you don't know what that is, teamsynergyagents.com, click on training, ATM, boom. You can go watch that. So, but what I'm utilizing is I'm utilizing the 2 videos that are direct in your Share Secret app. So when you download your Share Secret app, okay, you're going to see the first 2 videos that are right there, which is the Good Life Club Secret, and the second video, which is Club Secret Press Play. It's a 2-minute video, and then it's a 12-minute video, okay? Now, I'm sending them both because that first one, man, it gets your blood boiling. It's an amazing video, and it doesn't give you a lot of information, but it makes you go, huh, that looks pretty sexy. I want a little bit of that life. I want a little bit of that lifestyle. Now, here's the thing. Some people have been asking about a new updated video. Obviously, that's adds the member deals, the member perks, and adds the 3 trips. Here's the thing. The 3 trips that are included in the Pro Pack is a promotion. We're not going to be including in a company video that we're utilizing a promotion, because when it ends, we have to come change the video again. Now, is the company going to extend this? I don't know. Like legitimately. And I know you're like, Jesse, you talk to Isaac all the time. I really don't know if they're going to be extending this. In fact, I'm not even going to ask. I'm going to assume it's over until I hear about it on June 1st, if they're going to be doing something special for the next month, because right now I want to feel like it's ending because that's all I know. Okay. Number one, because we're going to be pushing hard for this last week for those professional packages, because that incentive, it's pretty amazing. Now, here's what is incredible that I learned from a colleague and a mentor of mine who we're super excited to be welcoming here to Seacret. When he talked about it, he said, listen, watch this 2-minute video. So it doesn't explain a lot, but it'll give you the feeling of what we're doing in our company. Write this in your notes. Watch this 2-minute video. Now, it's very important that you put the time in the text message, because if people know how long it is, they're much more likely to watch it. Okay. Doesn't give you a lot, but it'll give you the feeling of what this company is about. Then watch this video. 12-minute video. Now, here's the kicker. This is brilliant, okay? So inside of that presentation, when you watch the 12-minute video, you're just gonna follow up with this. Hey, let me know when you've watched this, as soon as you've watched this, if you haven't set an appointment, because there's some things they left out of the video that I want you to know about. There's some things they left out of the video that I want you to know about. Perfect. That is your opportunity to follow up with, and it's even better. They have this daily deals, which has all of these things, which you can explain. And remember how it said that you get a getaway with it? Actually, it's crazy because the bigger package not comes with one, comes with 3 getaways, right? So 3 vacations. So that's something that you now can actually have as a closing, or if you're not comfortable doing that, you can introduce your expert, introduce a third-party person, okay? So a support team, somebody in that. So these are a few things in prospecting here that are going to be important when you're reaching out to people and letting them know, listen, hey, I want you to take a listen to this. I want you to take a look at this, okay? Do you have 2 minutes? Can you watch something for me real quick? Perfect. I want you to take a look. I want you to take a listen. This is something I think is incredibly valuable. So in this, as we're going out there and sharing this information with people, what I want you guys to understand is along this process, everything that you're going to experience, good, bad, up, down, left, right, negative people, is something that all of us are going to experience, okay? Now, if we're running into a wall consistently, and you're running into the same wall, what that means is you need to change. You need to grow. You're not supposed to be hitting a wall consistently over and over and over again, okay? So the idea behind it is this, is it's time to evaluate. This is where we plan, do, review, and we go, okay, I am having a similar stoppage in my business. I need a new path. I need to take a different direction. I need to take a different path. I need to go around it. I need to go over it. I need to go through it, or I need to blow this sucker up and get rid of whatever it is that this thing that's holding me back from continually moving forward in my business, okay? Now, that requires an incredible amount of self-respect, of self-analysis, which is not always a very easy thing to do, okay? So, so that's why I admire all of you for being here, for challenging yourself to grow. This business is a simple business, but it's an emotional business. It's a mental business. So it's like 20% mechanics, it's 80% psychology, and the majority of it is the mind games that we play with ourselves as to whether or not it's going to work and how it's going to work, and our starting and our stopping and inconsistency. And we have to deal with one of the most challenging things in the world, people. And we do it, and we have to do it every single day. And people are weird. I mean, I'm just telling you, man, we are weird units, right? So, but I can promise you that if you stay consistent with the behaviors, consistent with the actions, consistent with the activities, that the results are there, but you gotta stay in line through the process. So whether or not you're feeling like it or not, that's just how it works. So that was our hour here for today. I want to thank you guys so much. How many of you guys got some value out of this take? You know, learned something, got something, felt something. So, okay, and getting out of it. These are Tuesday night trainings. We're doing these every Tuesday night. So don't miss these. So you can get your team plugged into them. All right. So now what we're going to be doing is for those of you guys that want, I'm going to be doing my accountability call real quick. I'm going to be ending the Zoom. I'm going to be opening the Zoom back up for those that want to log in and share their numbers of presentations. I've missed the last few weeks because I was traveling and I was very sick. I'm going to be ending this and logging back on. If you want to log in, these are only for those that want to report on their numbers publicly. If you've never done it before, you might not need to, but we've been continuing this from our last event. So we will end this and come back on. So, but here's your only thing. If you haven't upgraded and got your professional package and gone all in, I would do that. This is the week right now, is to be closing this out, is more presentations, more promotions that we possibly do. Finish out this week strong, okay, for you guys to be able to win. And then lastly is boot camp. Get your ticket registered and get your booty to boot camp, because it is going to be something that, I mean, everything we're launching right now is great, but it's all stacking. And there's this method to the madness of all leading into these seasons that we're heading into in the world of secrets. So Take care. Have a great Tuesday night, guys. Let's go make this week really powerful. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the leaderboards. And if you want to be held accountable to your numbers, log back on. I'll see you guys in 20 seconds. Bye.